And we live. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. To all the viewers, thanks for coming on. It's a lovely cold afternoon in South Africa, Cape Town. For those who don't know and absolutely brand new to my page, my name is Verona Davids, and I'm from South Africa. I'm a wife, I'm a mom, I'm a student, and I'm also a full-time digital business owner. So, but this is the very first time that I find myself in the online space, right? Because I've been an entrepreneur for 13 years. So I'm excited to share what that entails and what does it mean and all of those things. But without further ado, I'm excited to speak to Nikki Tayco from the Philippines. Hi, Nikki.
Hello, Farhana.
How
Thank
are
you so
you?
much for inviting me here.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing your journey with us. We're excited to hear how it's been so
Mhm.
far. But just so you can
Yes.
just introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. So, thank you so much again for inviting me here. I'm just so excited to share the screen with you today. But first and foremost, I would like to greet all of your viewers. Good evening to everyone from my time zone here in the Philippines. And since we are a global community, I would really love to greet you good morning, good afternoon, especially to you, Farhana. It's afternoon in your place, or good evening wherever you are in the world. And also for those people who will be catching us on a replay later. So, hello to everyone. So, a little bit about a little bit about myself. My name is Nikki. And just like you, Farhana, I am also an online business owner and mentor. And I have been doing this since October 2018. I am based here in the Philippines. I am a wife to my physician husband. I am a mom to three young, beautiful adult children, so ages 21 to 24 years old. I am a part time empty nester since my youngest daughter came back home to do online school since the pandemic hit. And I am also a retirean, so it is something that me and my husband are very passionate about. It is something that we really love to do, aside from traveling, of course. And I am also an online business owner for the past, traditional business owner for the past 25 years. But my background before all of this came to be, before I got married, I was doing corporate and I was connected to a multinational company in a pharmaceutical industry. And I did that for nearly 4 years. And I knew after having a taste of the corporate life, I knew that I didn't want to be employed ever again. Because even though I was enjoying the perks of corporate life, I was just sucked into the company politics, and that I felt that I was only good as my last sale, and I was working to please my boss so he can also, reach his quota. And I realized that I was really working to make other people rich. And so when I got married and started a family, I gave it all up. I gave it all up, all the corporate life, and I prioritized my growing family. And I knew early on that I never really wanted to work for anybody else again. So I became self-employed. So together with my husband, we run a clinic, we run a laboratory, we run a drugstore for the past 25 years up to the present. But the major shift for me came when we became total empty nesters. So the children were finally or leaving home one after the other for work or for school. And it left me and my husband alone at home. And it was not an easy transition for me, as I love being my role being a mom. And so I began questioning myself, what is there next for me? And so at this point, we were not getting any younger, and our traditional business was really slowly owning us in our time. I was tired. I was exhausted because if you have a traditional business, you are physically tied to your business. And of course, there is this mental stress of running a traditional business. And any traditional entrepreneur, I think you can also relate for Hannah. You can having experienced high overhead expense, right? Or you pay your salaries to your employees. You have inventories. You have rentals if you don't own your own building, and so much more. So it was also at this time that we began preparing for our retirement. It was just around the corner. And being self employed, we knew that we needed to create wealth to support us through our retirement. And unlike when you are employed, you get pension or you get retirement benefits from your company, right? But this is not our case. And so I knew I really wanted a change, and I was looking for more flexibility in my time where I can work from home and still earn. so that me and my husband can prepare for a comfortable retirement lifestyle and continue to support our causes. And so this really started me looking for an opportunity to earn revenue online.
Okay,
So
awesome.
that's
Wow.
it.
It's a very long story, but I
Yeah,
definitely understand, right? We
yeah.
definitely need to make all the pieces of the puzzles fit together so that it makes
Mm.
sense to understand how it is that we came onto the business and so on. Hassan, sorry, my baby is, but this is
Uh,
a from home
Hello.
business. Put a little soft banana. So yes, so I definitely resonate with your story, right? We know that there are the four quadrants within the business model of how the employee, the self-employed, and the business owner.
Mm.
And it is like you said, you were in the corporate industry 4 years in it, you realized that wasn't for you, so you went from that quadrant into the self-employed quadrant, and now being in there and 25 years is also good. I mean, it's also long, but and you've
Yeah.
obviously experienced success because you have done it for a very long time. But now you get into that point where you realize, like, you know what, it's still taxing. There are still many things that mean that you have to do as a
Yes.
self-employed person, right? So now you're moving to the next quadrant of being a business owner, and
Mm.
obviously being over there should be at the part where you free yourself up, but it doesn't happen overnight, right? It happens. It's a gradual
Yes.
process because you've been in the business for 2018 and since 2018, and you're running it part time, which means you're doing it at your pace, at how you are able to and want to doing it. If you
Mm-hmm.
decide that you want to really become full time, then that is completely up to you. But I mean, this is the beauty of the business that we do. And I
Mm-hmm.
definitely resonate with when being an entrepreneur. I've done, at least you have stuck to one thing for 25 years. I've done many different things within my 13 years. By the way, when I heard that you were empty nester and you have children at 25, I was looking at your picture. I was like, wow, I was thinking this lady looks so good for her age. Wow.
I'm
Nice.
already 51.
Yes, wow, you look very good. And I was like thinking, how do you have children that's in your 20s already and you look like you're still in your 30s?
I had my kids when I was 26 to 30 years old. So, yeah.
Oh, okay. So, so yeah, so I, been an entrepreneur, tried many different things, had short success stories within them. I think the biggest part of why I did like holiday businesses. I did health shake businesses. I did all of that. I even went into retail and clothing and footwear, and I did that for about 6 years. That was one of the businesses that I did for the longest and was most
Mm-hmm.
successful. But like the cons about it, obviously the inventory,
Mm-hmm.
money in the stock and all of those things, right? And those were all things that eventually, as we were moving into a different stage of economy in South Africa, it was really hectic, right? Always having to
Mm-hmm.
sell in such a competitive industry and I suppose it is really like that everywhere because we are so everything is so easily available right now, right? But the
Yes.
beauty of our business and why I love what we do is because people would probably like they wouldn't understand because I'm sure so many people say this about their business, but it is truly unique in that we don't focus on sales. We don't focus
Mm-hmm.
on products. We don't focus on the sale and on the pitch and on the next best thing and what is there out there, right? That is not what we're about. And that is such a
Yes.
weight off of our shoulders. I don't know how you feel about it, but what like when people speak to you about what is it that you do, then what do you say to them? Because a lot of people don't understand. So if you're not selling, then what are you doing, right?
Yeah, yeah. So basically, if people ask me what I do, I just basically and simply tell people that, I help entrepreneur women in midlife because that is my niche to start and build an online business from the comfort of their homes using a comprehensive program, their digital devices, and of course, leveraging several social media platforms like we have
Hassan,
Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and so much more. So I really try to keep it simple because if they are interested to know more and they will ask you more information, I just invite them to our twice a week webinar that shows them more of what we do, how we do it, and how they can partner with us, right? And there they will see several webinar panelists who are really real people with real results giving their testimony, and just we just follow the process. It just makes the system makes it easier for us on how we do our business because everything is just laid down and we just follow the process. And so that's it. It's very simple.
Yeah, definitely. I understand because, I like to say that we do have this micro steps towards, becoming a digital business owner because we really want to work with people who are serious, who people who are
Yes.
wanting change, right? Because
Mhm.
everybody, it's the funniest thing, right? The nature of people, they fear and they're afraid of the quick rich, the get rich quick
Yes,
yet is
yes, yes.
what they actually look for, in terms of results, right? Because they don't have
Yeah,
that patience. And but this is not what we about, right? We are
yeah,
about training you because we have the full comprehensive program, right? We are
yes,
training you, giving you the skills. We have the social media platforms available for us,
yes,
and then
yes.
we have a full comprehensive training website. So,
Mhm.
when you are invited to a free information session, which is, I mean, it's free, so that in itself already is a great information session that you are getting there. That's completely free. It just is a matter of taking out some of your time
Mhm.
to go and actually watch,
Right.
to
It's just
determine,
90 minutes of your time, right? And
to
some people
determine,
don't even have time to watch 90 minutes and they want to
yes,
get rich. They want to earn, but they don't have enough time to watch the webinar. So you just know that these are the people that are not fit for the business, right?
exactly. And that's why we have these tips in place, right? Because
Mm,
if you
yeah.
don't have 90 minutes to watch a free webinar, then how are you going to have time for a business and to build a business and a successful
Yes.
business? And so the beauty
Yes.
of it is that we have that free webinar. And after
Mhm.
that, obviously, you get onto the lifetime membership, which is a once
Uh-huh.
off payment, right? There is no monthly cost, there is no annual cost. It's a once off payment,
Yes, yes. Hmm.
and it's a 30-day money back guarantee. So it's
Guaranteed.
at that point that you go and do your due diligence, you go and find out what you need to find out about the business, and you make sure that you know that this is something that you could possibly do.
Yes.
And then, what is the risk other than you actually just coming here and doing what you need to do? So, you've been in the business since 2018. You had your own business with your husband.
Uh-huh.
Was there any real challenges? Do you find that this business, is anybody able to do this business? How did you find any challenges with regard to starting and so on?
Well, that's really a good question for Hannah. I've had really several challenges because there were really so many things happening in my life at the time when I started the business. But I was already in my midlife when I discovered this business, and I had that little voice in my head that is questioning whether will this work for me, or am I too old at midlife to start a business, and not just any business, but a digital one at that. And I am not tech savvy, and a digital business is really different from running a traditional business, right? And so I had this fear that I would not have, enough time to build a business and be successful. And I began doubting myself. But good thing is we have our comprehensive program, like you said earlier. So we have all the trainings, we have the systems, we have the tools, we have the step-by-step video-based trainings that was made for beginners in mind. And of course, we have this amazing supportive community that really helped me overcome all of these challenges, right? And then also at that time, also looking for this self-fulfillment, as I was always behind the shadows of my family. And I knew that there was really something more that I needed to do, something that I can create and call my own. It's like having my own baby because my kids are not here anymore. And so something that I can also prioritize for me because I have spent half of my life prioritizing my family. And this was really like a midlife awakening for me. And I suddenly remember that bright eyed lady who had a degree tucked under her belt, who graduated in a university, who had her own goals, who had her own dreams, but it was put on hold to take care of my family. And so this really triggered me to find something that I can do online. And I'm glad I did because I have never looked back since.
Good,
Yeah.
good,
Mhm.
awesome. And so that's what it's all about, right? We obviously do have these fears, and some of them are very real, and some of them are way bigger in our heads than what it is in reality. But
Uh-huh.
once you overcome that and you just take that first step, because I'll never forget the very first day the training was unlocked. It's a lot of information, right? It's a steep learning curve, like you.
Yes.
Okay, so I am a little bit fast learning with a computer, but I've been at home for 13
I'm very
years.
slow for Hannah. Good for you. But I'm very slow. I have to. A good thing that our video is our training is video based because I'm very visual, so I can go back.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
If you cannot understand the first time, then you can go back. So it is very advantageous on my part because
Yeah,
I'm
but
very slow.
even though I am a little bit fast learning, I was still so overwhelmed by all of the information, and I just thought, oh my gosh, what did I get myself into? Can I actually do this? And then,
Yeah.
yeah, and then just like one step at a time, even though I knew some of the information, I never skipped any steps, I never skipped any
Uh-huh.
of the videos, I watched them all, and then within 7 days, I had completed my training. And so,
Wow. For
and I
you.
just yeah, because
Uh-huh.
like literally like on day 7, when I eventually reached out to my mentor to actually ask him a question, because then I needed to find out some information, and then I had to ask him something, and then he was like, wait, but did you do that? And did you do this? But did you complete this step? And I was like, yes, I did
Uh-huh.
everything. And because he was so shocked, right? Because I obviously, when the training was allowed, I obviously messaged him and I was like, oh my gosh, this is like overwhelming. And he was like, don't worry, one step at a time. We here, reach out to you. And then obviously a week later, I'm reaching out and I'm like, and then he was like so shocked, like, what happened?
You're a
so
very good mentee.
But but this is the beauty of our business, right? Everybody can go at the place. I am full time in the
Yes,
business,
yes.
so that did allow me, extra time that I could have dedicated to the business. But if some people are working full time, so they only have that 1 to 2 hours a day to actually sit and do the
Yes,
work.
yes.
And in the beginning, that's what's really important, and that's what takes up most of the time. But once you sit up and you've done your business page, and you more fair with the training site and all of those things, definitely, I'm sure you can tell us, how long
Yeah.
do you sit a day with your
Uh-huh.
with your business and
Yes.
doing it full time.
Yeah, because
But not
when
like,
when you are an entrepreneur, going doing the business is not actually a straight line, right? You have your ups and downs, you have your bumps, you have your curves, and all of those things. So all of those challenges, you're going to have it. And I always remember that. As long as I see people achieving and hitting milestone after milestone in our online business community, and when I see what is possible because of the people who inspire me, or people who are way ahead of me and what they have achieved, it just gives me motivated to do the same. That
yes.
if they can do it, then definitely I can do it too, right?
Yes, I so agree with that, right? Because, like you're saying, like for myself, for example, right? Because I am the type of person that,
Mhm.
if I set my mind to something and I want something and I put down my goals, and then I get a little bit frustrated with me not, reaching them. But then I don't realize that what is happening in the background, right? What are all
Uh-huh.
those things that I perhaps don't perceive as milestones or things that is happening, and I don't realize that eventually later on in the business it will definitely have an effect, right? Because you're not seeing the results at that time, but you don't realize what is happening to your business. But as you
Yes.
say now, when you read the other people's stories and the testimonials, when you hear them speak about their journey, because this is the thing, right? We only ever see the success, but we don't know the journey. We don't know what
Yes,
happened, how
yes.
they
And
got
each of
there,
us has different journeys, right?
right? And so then that, like you say, it just keeps me, it keeps me there, reminds me all the time, keeps me inspired, makes me realize, hey, wait a second, if they did this, I can definitely do this.
Yes,
And so
yes.
I love that.
Anybody
So
can actually do this business, but not anybody can do this, but not everybody also can do this. As long as you have the determination to learn and to succeed, and and to put your time and effort into doing this business, then definitely you're going to succeed.
yeah, 100% I agree. I always say that, we would love to say anybody can do this business, but in reality, it's only going to be those type of people who want to make a change and who's going to take action. People are going to
Yes,
make time and effort. People are willing to learn, because all you need is that willingness to learn. You don't need
yeah,
to be savvy. You don't need to have any business experience. You just
yes,
need that burning desire. Why is it that you want this change, and you need to do this, and that willingness and that openness to come and learn. So yeah, I think that
yeah.
really is
Oh, that's very
so,
nice.
I don't know if there's like anything else that you want to mention. I always like to ask my guests, what is it? when these people, when there's something that's holding them back, what do you tell them when they really want to get started but they're nervous or they're afraid, or like they just can't overcome that fear? What do you tell them?
I think people who are holding back are these are the skeptics, So being a skeptic is actually natural. So I get that, especially in the online world with the proliferation of scams and whatnots. And I always say that there are still decent, honest people working online, and we wouldn't put our faces and our names in public or risk our integrity if our business was not legit, right? And integrity is really very important for me, especially for us. We have a traditional business, we have a protection, we have our profession and
Hassan?
our name to protect, and we also pay
Hassan?
our taxes. And so I just know that this is a legit business. And for skeptics also out there, do not stay a skeptic for too long, because the positive side of being a skeptic is it's not because you do not believe, but it's because you do not know anything about it yet, but because you want to know, right? And so if you want to know something, so do your due diligence. You ask, you research, you talk to a mentor or a coach, and you get the right information before you say no, and make an intelligent, conclusive, and an informed decision after you have read everything that you want to know about the business. And always remember, the doubters really never win, and the winners never doubt. So the doubters never really go far, right? And I really love Tony Robbins. He said that, he said, it takes no guts to be skeptical, but it takes guts to believe. So if you want to move forward, you just got to put yourself on the line. You have to take action. You risk failure, right? Then you learn and then relearn, and then ultimately you're going to succeed. So that's how it is.
Awesome. I love it. Thank you so much. I always end the with just saying, take action. Once
Mhm.
you've like Nikki has said, once you've done all the recent research and you've overcome that skepticism and you move on, take action. Come with an open ear, an attentive ear, an open heart, a good opinion, and be willing to learn, and you will
Yes.
definitely yield results. Um,
Yes.
there
That's
is no other risk except that you need to make the time and effort, and that's all
mm-hmm.
that it takes from your part. But
Yeah.
Nikki, thank you so much for everything. It was an awesome chat. I enjoyed it so
Yes.
much.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here for Hannah. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Yes, yes, definitely.
Uh-huh.
And I hope to see you on the inside. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh,
Yeah.
everybody. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.